is Midwest. They've received a quarry lease work order from the government of Andhra Pradesh. And we have the management with us, Ramachandra Kollareddy, promoter and CEO of Midwest, joining us this morning for exactly that. Mr. Kollareddy, can you give us a perspective on what this means for a player like Midwest? What this means from a production standpoint? How quickly does production ramp up for you as a result of this lease work order?
Sure. Thanks for having me. So this specific quarry lease is for a new product, Quartzite. So Quartzite is also dimensional stone, but we are looking at supplementing the imports into India. Quartzite is a premium natural stone, which is being imported right now from Brazil, Italy, and other countries. And in South India, this is one of the first mines which will be coming to production. And this will be mostly for domestic consumption, and maybe part of it will be exported, maybe 30-40%. In terms of production, I think we have 1 quarter of development, and it will start coming to production around next quarter is what we are looking at. And it's a sizable resource, and I think we mine life for 25-30 years. So it's something we're looking forward to. And in this case, we are also trying to evolve in India B2B2C model, wherein we will be also branding this stone. So product is our plan right now.
And with regard to how quickly does production commence for you on this front? And you're saying there is no manufacturing of this that happens in India. So this is completely import replacement that you will be playing. How competitive are you in terms of pricing, very likely, with regard to imports that are coming in?
We'll be very competitive because it's a natural product, and usually in natural stones, 70 to 75% is the cost of raw material. So in this case, being a domestic supply, price will not be a factor. I think we'll be focusing on branding and replacing because the logistic cost of getting all the way from Brazil or Italy or these countries is quite expensive, especially now, given the geopolitical situation and the freight rates.
Kollareddy, talk to us about how this adds to your rare earth metals capability and to that product portfolio. How does this order win shape up for you on that side? And you also have a lot of REM capability. So what's happening on that front, if you could give us an update?
Sure. So this specific lease is for our natural stone vertical, and the rare earth vertical is we are building on that capability, and I think we have spoken last time. We are developing our own resources in Sri Lanka. Then we're doing some work in India as well. So we are also very excited with the PLI, which was launched recently by Government of India. We're waiting for further details. So I think in terms of rare earth, nothing has changed specifically. Overall dynamics. The only thing that we have noticed in the last quarter is the increase in prices, which are predominantly set by the Chinese manufacturers, and the prices of the magnets or the metal or the oxides have gone up substantially. So that will help the entire ecosystem in India and rest of the world to develop. And yeah, we are excited and looking forward for that. I think things are moving fast in that direction.
Okay, and on that note, Mr. Kollareddy, the new 7,280 crore scheme that we've heard from the government for the push for Indian rare earth excavation and production. Talk to us about where you are standing over there. Have you been allocated or have you applied for the scheme? What is the outlook there?
So we received the broad guidelines of the scheme, but the scheme is not yet out there. I think the government will come up with the scheme in the next few weeks, and we have started works on our side to look at the overall details of it and where we would locate this plant if we are getting the PLI kind of a thing. So I think the scheme, the outline of the scheme is quite good and aggressive in terms of what the government wants to do. It's a 6,000 crore capital outlay over a period of 2 + 5 years, and it's distributed over 5 companies. So it is following a traditional PLI scheme, But I think one important aspect that we need to understand in this is about I think they're very strict on the timeline. The government wants, and the industry also needs to implement this project. And we having started this work some time back, I think we will be aggressive on that front also. Hopefully, in the next 2 to 3 months, these PLS should be awarded to those 5 companies.
Okay. And the HMS facility, Mr. Kollareddy, is that progressing as per plans? At the end of the last quarter, the thought was 15 months. You're recently listed as well. So I wonder how life has changed for you post that listing. But more questions, I believe. And do you believe that that 15-month timeline will you adhere to?
Yeah, so we are in line for that. We are for the HMS plant, and we have factored some buffer when we planned the 15 months. So within that timeline, we should be able to develop that plant. And so I think post listing, I would say too many opportunities coming in, and we are trying to see where we fit in the management bandwidth specifically, because rare earths, HMS, these are something which are and that the world is seeking, and we are also recruiting very heavily in the last quarter. And on the positive side, we are getting great talent. We're building out the teams, and the visibility is helping in getting tier 1 talent from large companies in India and overseas. So I think that has been the positive part. But I think we were well prepared for what to expect, and it's a very informed decision. So I think pretty much in line with what we expected. But I think the positives are the ability to raise capital for these large projects, which is a great place to be. And second is the talent we're able to recruit.
HMS, viewers, for perspective, is heavy mineral sands.
Yes.
And of course, rare earth is now a very, very known terminology. Mr. Kollareddy, what drives revenue for you, and how quickly can you drive up revenue? I believe you've guided FY28 to be a year in which revenue will more than double from the current FY25 number which you've clocked, which is last year. I can't call it current, but last year. Are you still very, very confident with regard to that? And because of all of the changes that are, or rather the recent win, is there an upside bias to that guidance? I'm trying to get a sense.
So the revenue addition is mainly coming from the new businesses, that is the Quartz and the HMS, primarily until 28, where rare earth is a byproduct for us. And since this is basically coming from new businesses which are already being part capitalized and funded, and then we are building out these plants, the confidence level is high to achieve the target. Then in terms of the margin profile, so on the positive side, we are not really affected by the geopolitical situation that is happening around us in terms of the costs, because most of the costs are domestic, and the markets are also mostly the new business markets are also domestic. And for the Sri Lankan project, the costs are pretty low. I mean, in line with India in terms of the cost of conversion or extraction of HMS. So on the negative side, if you look at what's happening geopolitically, whatever the material which was, let's say, going to a country like US was getting affected. But in our business line, natural stone, in terms of natural stone, we don't have that issue because we don't have any exposure to US. In the second vertical of Quartz, the market positioning of grit supply, which for especially for engineered stone, which was, let's say, going to Indian companies which are affected by tariffs, is being positioned to other countries like Thailand and Vietnam, which are taking that market share from India per se. So there is a good traction there. And in terms of HMS or rare earths, it's pretty much a domestic requirement that we're trying to meet. So I think the confidence levels are quite high in terms of the volatility also. And I think our effort is in getting these projects mainstream as early as possible within the stipulated timelines and get going. Because what happens is, this is just the if you look at the resources that we have and the production numbers that we are expecting, there is also a long way to go to build on the resources we have. So I think we can the idea is to ramp up very quickly post in the next 24 months and try to see what is the maximum we can achieve.
Okay. And lastly, Mr. Kollareddy, before we let you go, I understand there's a 500 ton per annum capacity that you are setting. You're underway over there. What is the update? Because last we heard it was going to be fully operational by the month of February. Are we on track for that?
500 ton. I think this is. Are we talking about quartz? So I think the quartz phase 1 is already in production as we speak. The phase 2 quartz, which is 500,000 tons per annum, which is being capitalized from the proceeds of the IPO. I think we have at the last leg of finalizing the engineering drawings. I think the plant will be start to build sometime in March. By end of this year, we should have that plant commissioned in line with what we are expecting. So that will take the current capacity of 250,000 tons of quartz production to 500,000 tons.
Sounds good. Mr. Kollareddy, on that note, we'll let you go. Appreciate you joining us and speaking to us this morning. Thank you.